Tubi got that flick game, straight up out of left field. Cheesy B movies, all that drama unsealed. Chilling on my couch, popcorn in the bowl. Flicks so whack, they gon' steal your soul. Low budget thrills, but the laughs top shelf. Actors giving Oscar dreams.
One. No one can shoot Santa, even the filmmakers. Welcome to Tubi Decided. We analyze the B-movie gems on the free streaming service Tubi. And our family has grown over the past weeks as Vincent and Ivy are our new commentators.
Hello.
Yes.
That's me. I'm Vincent.
We enjoy having them in the group so much, and we constantly have to bribe them not to start a rival show.
You can't make us do anything.
Yes. Of course, we have our original recipe, Adam and I.
What's going on?
Yes. So this week, it was Ivy's turn to pick which movie she would find on Tubi. And she picked something right in her wheelhouse. I actually believe she is the poster child of this genre.
Yes.
So she picked 2023's Werewolf Santa. Or, I'm sorry, Santa Werewolf.
I love how all of our movies
which one
are
is
just
it?
like two words that don't go together. Like Meth, Cash Storm, and Werewolf Santa.
Right. And which brings us our great icebreaker where each one of us is going to pick a mythological monster and a holiday and put them together. Like Easter Mermaid or Kwanzaa Kraken.
Jeez.
Well, then.
Oh,
man. So pick a mythological monster and a holiday together, and I'll tell you what kind of movie, how good it will be.
Wow. The first thing that came to mind is Basilisk Easter.
That goes hard.
Yeah.
How about Yule Cat Labor Day?
Oh, nice.
I was gonna go with Christmas Chimera.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, such good ones.
Yes,
Yeti Arbor
the
Day.
titles are brilliant.
Yeti Arbor Day. That's funny because like Yeti is very, conjures snow, and Arbor Day is like in May.
Zombie Groundhog Day.
Which, I mean, for Western New York, where Mike and I live, isn't a stretch that there might be some snow in May, but,
It happened
Oh,
once.
for sure.
Yes. So, some movie facts about Santa Werewolf. It has a 3.5 on IMDb.
It's too generous.
But it won a finalist selection for a London Horror Fest contest. I want to know what the other ones that didn't make it.
Was this like a student film? What? So many questions.
It was written and directed by Errol Anthony Hales, who wrote and directed Advent, a movie about a cursed Advent calendar. That's coming out later.
What?
We should have watched that.
I know. It's going to be on Tubi. You know it is.
Yeah.
All right. And this stars Kathleen Rodden, Mark Arnold, Emily Booth, Charlie Preston, Cian Lorcan, and Dave Darko as Werewolf Santa. And Ivy, you found that some of these people have some impressive careers.
Yeah. The guy that played Santa and the guy that played her dad are in like actual movies. They're credited in like Jurassic World and like Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. Like they were in big movies.
Wow.
Probably just like side people, but still.
Yeah. I wonder how much like they demanded or like what got them to want to be in this movie. You think any of them made a paycheck over 4 digits?
I'm not even positive they got paid.
It was a favor.
Yes, a favor. It was a blackmail. Let's be honest. All right. So, the movie, we're going to get right into the movie. This movie is a found footage movie. Lucy is a YouTube influencer looking for monsters, but instead she's finding student loans. And then it cuts to Werewolf Santa going down a chimney. And then it cuts to a comic book by a not Woody Harrelson guy. Sharing that night before Christmas, the whole entire poem, which I didn't know was so long, while showing like comic book pictures of him in like Santa, like just getting high as a kite.
Yeah, with that.
Yeah,
with
that was
pipe
really
of his, the puff puff pass.
Yeah,
that was really funny because I'm just sitting here watching this movie, and then Joe Bob Briggs is just on screen with the like voice like message recording that he clearly did for like $10. Like, okay.
Yeah. And he ends with, "Be careful what you wish for," and I'm like, what was he
That's
warning us about?
Who asked
no
for
one
this?
wished for anything.
No one's asking for this movie. I mean, we didn't wish for it. All right. We then cut to Dustin and Lucy bickering, as in one of 50,000 bickering scenes, which
Yeah.
makes up 90% of the script. And they're going down this nice suburb, and suddenly they see a homeless guy. As most homeless guys do hang out with in very nice suburbs, offering to wash your car. In this scene, Lucy says her parents were divorced. They fought over their relationship. She also says that Dustin, the guy who's holding the camera, he's a Wiccan, and he's part of a band called I Piss on Your Soul. So we're really getting like a visual of these characters.
Yeah.
At this point, what were you guys thinking? Like, what kind of movie were you going to get into?
Well, first off, I'm mad at Dustin for stealing my band name idea.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah, definitely. This might be a little controversial. It's definitely a bad movie, but I think there were some good ideas throughout it. They just didn't have the means or talent to execute them.
Right.
And I also really like Lucy's mom because she's a big part of the movie. She's
Right.
genuinely funny, and if she was in any other movie, it wouldn't be so cringe, and she would actually work. But that's just my opinion.
Right. I have to say that Lucy, so the first few seconds, I'm like, oh, this might be a really professionally done movie. But then
Right.
it did that B movie thing. It does the B movie thing where instead of showing, they just complain.
Yeah.
They can't afford action scenes or like set locations, so they just have long dialogues of complaining and bickering. And this movie has it in spades.
And it just cut over like scenes that would be in any other movie, like for context, and they just kind of like skip over it and recap you.
Right. And they do what all film professors tell you to do. Tell, don't show. In fact, write it on a sign and just say, this is what the people did. And you'll see that like a few times. Lucy and Dustin fought off the monster, and now they're free.
Now it's also written in like MS Paint. Like the opening credits are just like a screenshot from Paint.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who got, like MS clip art vibes from that lazy exposition.
Yeah. I feel like there was an argument where like one of them wanted to be like, it's got to be like a graphic novel, like that's so punk. And like Lucy's punk. Oh, but it's got to be Christmas. Okay, we'll do a graphic novel where someone talks about the night before Christmas. And then they shook hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the poem was public domain, so
yeah.
So that was just fair game right there.
Right. Public
domain.
After
that, the movie just writes itself.
Yes. So Lucy is looking for the elusive werewolf that she swears she saw when her parents were breaking up. She ran into the forest. She saw this werewolf and now dedicated her whole entire YouTube career, you could say, to finding it. Yet, for some reason, she decides last moment to actually look in the last place the monster was when she was a kid. Which isn't really smart. If you're looking all over the world for a werewolf, maybe start where you last saw one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they refer to her in this movie as like the person who knows more about like monsters than anyone. And like, that cannot be possible. Like, she has a YouTube channel where she like fails constantly trying to find monsters. Like, there's people that are actual like, researching this stuff and like going on expeditions. Like, there's no way that she's like the smartest cryptozoologist in the world.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't she get all of the werewolf lore from comics, basically?
Yeah.
They keep going back.
And somehow it's accurate. Like, who's writing these werewolf lore accurate comic books?
Right. I mean, it's definitely not a DC or Marvel. I've checked. Yeah. Yeah. So as you were saying, Ivy, the montage of her doing different videos in different locations, she's like, she's kind of like sitting, picking her nose, being like, I can't find them. All I can find are my student loans.
I like this one part where she's like, we're in Scotland at Loch Ness, And she's clearly just like by a stream in England. Like she is not in Loch Ness, bro.
Oh, I hate when YouTubers lie. Yeah. So the beginning monologue with Dustin is either covered in like drugs they're going to do, sex they're going to have, or how much she hates Christmas and it's meaningless to her. Now, store that opinion that Christmas is meaningless to her in the back of your mind, because I'm going to show you exactly where it doesn't pay off. All right. So next scene, Lucy wants to visit her mom, and they have this long kind of bickering conversation over how much they don't agree with each other and how much they fight over each other and how she wishes her dad was there. And Miss Gray, she kind of says, she hints that like Lucy's a crack shot. You know, she always used to hang out with her dad and used to be really good at the rifle range, which kind of gives away the ending, you know.
Right.
Doesn't take a genius to figure out who's going to pull the final trigger.
Yes.
Yeah. So then Dad comes in, and she loves Dad. You know, Dad can do no wrong, even though he was the one who was like cheated on the marriage. But for some reason, in Lucy's mind, Dad is just like, he's a hero. He's also the main constable of this whole town. The town of Hastings is where they're at.
Yeah.
While being an American.
Yes.
And having a severe alcohol problem.
Yeah, he did lack. He did lack an accent. I noticed that.
Yeah, that kind of had me puzzled. How does an American become a constable? It's just one of my many questions.
That's the lore we needed.
The choices. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I am of the opinion that with very few exceptions, there are no such things as bad stories, just badly written ones.
Right.
You know, I feel like this movie, it could have been decent. It could have been good.
It's a great premise.
Yeah, but I mean, some wrong choices were made. And
just hand it to the guy that made Violent Night and let him remake it.
Yeah, there you go. That would fix the whole thing.
And spermicide. Don't forget spermicide.
Yes. Spermageddon, spermicide. It's all
what's that? Spermageddon, that's right.
Right. Well, here's the thing, and I've seen this a lot, like with our other movies, Cash Storm, is that like these ideas sound like so much fun. And like that you can tell the director really wants to have the fun. But at the end of the day, he realizes like he can't afford anything.
Right.
And the money runs out. So he's like, I guess we could just bicker and complain for like filler, I guess. And maybe just do a lot of like off-screen storytelling. And like I feel so bad for them because it's like you have this amazing idea about a money-filled tornado and you just have close-ups of characters yelling at each other. Yeah. So Lucy's mom and dad, they fight. Everyone hates someone in this show. Even Dustin, we're not sure about his relationship with Lucy, but you know that he's like just pretty much a horn dog.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. And that's kind of
he's not painted as likable at all, which actually leads to an actually funny joke later on.
Right. So we have parents fighting the movie, and it kind of makes me wonder, why did Lucy want to go home if she knew she was going to hate being there?
Right.
Yeah. Like, why even go? Like, because she just sat around being like, oh, I hate it here. Oh, this is so horrible.
Nobody drug you here.
Yeah. It's like this is not.
You drove here.
The documentary you're shooting. So why are you here? For the audiences? Yeah.
Just cause? For the movie?
Right. I guess that's where she told Dad to meet. But even then, you know, Dad's not even welcome in that house. So why are you there?
Why is anyone here?
Right.
Why are we here?
Yeah.
That's what I was asking myself.
So we cut to Lucy on a swing, doing the emo girl on a swing, just kind of hanging there loosely, where Dustin says, you are an extra in your own life.
Profound.
Which I thought that would be a great like progress for a protagonist if Lucy wasn't like such a vacuum for attention.
Right.
an opinion, she is definitely not an extra in her own life. She's very outspoken.
She's the YN.
Yep. So as they're doing more bickering between each other, Lucy and Dustin see a scraped up victim come out with cuts or strawberry syrup on his head. I'm not sure, but he dies right in front of them, right out
Yeah.
of their backyard. Now, if you're
Yeah.
looking for a werewolf and someone runs out with werewolf wounds from the wooded area, wouldn't you go look in the wooded area for said monster?
Seems legit.
Nope, you break into the police station. That's exactly
Oh,
what happens
right.
Oh, maybe
Silly us.
next.
maybe maybe you missed it because of the weird editing, but they do go into the woods and then it cuts to them going to the police station.
Okay, well, that's even more confusing. Like, did they search the whole area and then?
Because there's that shot of her like walking into the forest, and then they do that weird screen fuzz thing, and then they're standing in front of the police station.
Okay,
Because the dialogue later on is them. She's like, "I don't buy that story. There's no way a dog would have attacked.
right,
Would have attacked." So like they're implying that like some time has progressed,
right.
but like no.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they went into the woods.
Mhm.
They broke into the police station, went through, the dad's things. They went back home, and then they double back to the police station.
Right.
Like, why? I mean, couldn't that have just maybe been only one scene at the police station?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
Yeah. So my brain didn't even register that. I'm just like, okay, you're breaking into the police station, and the only purpose you're there is because you find silver bullets.
And they
And
don't
you
even
tell a
take the
joke.
silver bullets.
Right.
Oh,
And
because
then-
they're all loaded in the officers' guns.
Yeah.
Because reasons.
So the whole point behind that is like her dad knows that there are werewolves here, and it just hasn't been telling her. And he still kind of plays stupid, like, oh, you're finding a werewolf? That's dumb. There's no werewolves here. And so, I mean, at least help your daughter out. Yeah. So back at the parents' place, mom admits that she met dad when she was arrested at the mall.
Ooh, bad girl.
Yeah. Lucy says that's when she saw a werewolf. She ran into the forest when she was little, saw the werewolf, changed her whole life. Then we go to a story about they're back in the forest, and Lucy's kind of talking, and suddenly this owner and this dog comes out and scares her to death.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was
Little
kind of
bitty
funny.
doggo.
She's
even-
just,
Yeah,
you're
not
not
even like
ready
a
for
big
a werewolf if a chihuahua is causing you a jump scare, honey.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Girl, you've been in this game long enough. Come on. You know how it is.
Now, another great plot point to this movie is she says, we have drugs, and they're hashish cookies. So she says they're in the back of her pocket, and they play a huge part in this movie, and you guys will have to explain it to me because I didn't understand.
Okay, that just went over my head. Like, I did not pick up on the hash cookies. Like, I got that they had joints.
Yeah.
They were passing that around, but please, someone enlighten me.
Yeah, I
The
didn't realize it
cookies.
until the end when they like mentioned it again.
Yeah. It's like a joke, like, oh, we have cookies. He kind of brings it up. All right. So a sign comes up, says they walk further into the forest, and then we cut to Santa's sleigh,
Yes.
which
What
is
a-
2 pieces of plywood.
Beauty of set design.
Yep.
Definitely not someone's lawn decoration with, Tubi Christmas lights strung up.
Yeah. They definitely did not spend a lot of time making Santa look like a majestic being.
Nope.
So they see Santa, he's like stretching. He just decided to park in Hastings and just do a stretch.
Was he taking a whiz?
Maybe.
Yeah, he was. As Dustin
You
is
know.
like, oh, he's taking like a pee break. So yeah.
I guess that makes sense. And then
I mean, even Santa's got to go sometime.
yeah, the werewolf casually walks up to Santa, attacks him. Santa is kind of like, he's more shocked than in pain. And then he has like this, he's wearing like this fake guts shirt all of a sudden. like someone rolled up like sausages and just kind of taped them to his shirt.
Oh, you forgot to mention how he screams. Ah.
Yeah.
My guts are being eaten a lot.
And then he says that horrifying line that will stick in our heads. Actually, it doesn't hurt. I feel powerful. So
Yeah, with his, his like foamy, pool noodle intestines hanging out of his belly, and he just, he looks up at the moon, decides to go full lupine on us, and
yes,
yeah. Oh
And
no, Santa's a werewolf.
And you would
Right.
think that, for a movie where its main plot is, not vampires, is werewolves, they don't show the moon once.
right.
No.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
they
mean,
don't.
I think they show the dad looking at the moon, and
They
we'll get
show
into
Santa
that.
looking at the moon too, but there's no shot of the moon.
They show moonlight, which might as well just be a spotlight
Probably
out
was
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. For a werewolf movie, this werewolf is incredibly casual.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just like he's taking his time. He's not here to kill. He's like, it just so happens that his claws ripped apart your guts,
Mm.
And I love the fact that right then Lucy and Dustin run 10 feet. You can still see Santa's sleigh in the background as they're out of the, like, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. And like, is it true you can still see the werewolf kind of being like, should
That's
I be
like a
chasing
theme
you?
in this movie is that they're supposed to be like hiding like
Mhm.
5 feet away and there's not even brush between them.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be like out of sight. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Right. Or
think-
when they're trying to sneak into the police station and they duck behind a bush, but the bush is like 20 feet in front of them, so the
Yeah.
cop definitely would still see them.
Right. Yeah. I think those werewolf comic books say that like werewolves have horrible scent and horrible vision.
Yeah.
And they just know that. Like they're like, we just need to step a little out of the way and he can't see us anymore. So
Really? Because I would think, having been descended from, wolves to some degree, that a werewolf would have incredibly keen vision and keen
maybe
senses of smell.
yeah, maybe in $1 million budget movie, but not this one.
Nope, not here.
It's
Not in Hastings.
so it's then that Dustin says, "That was Santa. We need to save Christmas." They
Maybe it was
instantly lay
a
out the
drunk
mission.
mall Santa, but
Right.
we don't know for sure. We didn't see the reindeer.
So yeah, in that one interaction, they get their whole story, their whole mission. Lucy, who hates Christmas and everything about it, she's like, "Yeah, I think you have to be my sidekick, and we now have to save Christmas for everyone." So
Yeah.
it was just kind of like a jarring, here's what we're going to do. We can't show you that this is happening, but trust us. The script says it's going to happen. So, this is the first time Lucy calls Dustin a coward, and if she doesn't come with him, she will release the sex tape. First time she uses that joke. The one where she's dressed as his mother. Yep. Cringe, shudder.
Ooh.
Yeah. Insert laugh.
Brother. Ooh.
They go back to the house where Mom refuses to give up the car. So they say, Mom, you have to drive us everywhere we want you to go.
You forgot the part where she gets an ice skate, famous, for killing mythological creatures.
Right. That was the best she
Yeah.
could do.
Checks out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like Dad has an AK-47 with like 3 clips of silver bullets.
Right.
Right.
Who
And,
just
like,
doesn't mention that?
And I've seen Shaun of the Dead. They should have had at least one cricket bat in their house.
Right.
Oh, for sure. For sure. At some point, I was waiting for Lucy to say, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Winchester, have ourselves a pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Exactly. And the dad kind of says essentially that later on.
Yeah.
He's like, we could just, go home and wait for the moon to go down.
Yeah. Is it right for like the main constable of a town to be like, yeah, just let him finish his killing, okay? Don't get in his way. We won't get in.
He's very irreverent.
Yes.
But it's a were Santa.
Yes.
He needs cookies. They do
Right.
happen to have some cookies. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know what like hashish cookies would have, what kind of effect they would have
Oh,
on a
well, they
werewolf. It's not
mentioned
like it's Wolfsbane or anything.
yes. So, in the car, Lucy says, I need to get my best friend since childhood, Rupert.
Ah, Rupert.
Rupert he's kind of like the brainy nerd, and shocker for a character reveal, but he's also very horny. I know.
Yeah.
Also, love that
Yeah.
we're getting a new character like 30, 45 minutes into the movie
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
of
Mhm.
an hour-long movie.
Yeah.
So Rupert reveals that a werewolf can only be killed by someone who loves him. Hint, 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 hint.
Oh, lore
Also,
drop.
is that lore? I don't remember that in
Yeah.
American Werewolf in
It's in the
London.
comic books. All right.
Oh, you're right.
Seems
So-
legit.
So we go to another action sign that says Lucy and Dustin were looking for them. We see the werewolf come down the chimney, and he looks like the Grinch. Did anyone say this is not a werewolf? This is the Grinch.
Right.
I did
Very
get
Grinch
Grinchy
vibes.
vibes from that. Yeah.
Someone got a Party City Grinch costume and spray painted it gray.
For sure.
So the werewolf finds the camera, and that camera keeps having that weird effect that tube TVs have when you have basic cable from the 80s. Anyone else find that weird? The
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like
Sort of
static.
like the static rolling.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, are they using magnetic tapes? Like, isn't this a digital age?
Well, they probably want the views.
Yeah.
And nostalgia gets the views.
Yeah.
I'm there for the static transitions.
It's just a filter.
Yes. So
It's a free plug-in on OBS.
yes. And this is why I hate reviewing movies like this, because you have to go into, because it goes from one conversation to the next, where like a high budget movie would go into an action scene and go into an explanation scene, go into people doing things. But in these movies, it's just like, oh, we did a conversation here. Now let's do a conversation closer to this tree. Okay. And so Rupert says that he believes that there's a UFO hiding in a chip pub.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Not like
we're off
aliens,
to-
but an entire UFO.
yes,
In
he
a
believes
chip
it.
pub. Right.
Yeah. At this moment, I'm thinking, where are the cops? Is it just like the constable in charge of like just handling the whole town? I mean, this town is small. There's like one suburb road with a homeless guy, and one place where you can see Santa's sleigh, because they keep
quote
repeating
unquote sleigh.
Yep.
I feel like the movie would have benefited from having, more of the scenes done with the police officers. I mean, because
Right.
they're the ones with the firepower. They're the ones who, are on the alert. And I mean, it
Right.
would make sense for, law enforcement to, for like a monster hunter to try to at least
Mm.
attempt to collaborate with the police.
Yep.
Apparently, that was not in the director's vision for this. So,
Yep.
yeah.
It's a very claustrophobic feeling movie because we're always stuck with the same like 4 characters.
Right. That's a great word for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Dustin gets cold feet. He says he's a coward. He makes up something, like he says that he reveals that he got kicked out of the band, which I guess is important. And, he says that he's a coward, and then he runs off. Really strong male leads in this movie. They meet up with Dad and Mom share this moment where they were in tiny Speedos together or something on a beach.
Oh, wait. Let's back up. Just before Dustin bites it, what do they roll up on? What do they see?
Oh, I skipped that line, probably mentally.
You blocked
Probably
it
for the
out.
sake of sanity. All right, so Rupert, okay, this is how I wrote it. Rupert hears sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gooner Harry Potter would.
Yes. So they go into like a part of the forest where teens
Oh,
like
no.
to swing.
That was the field right next to the Santa sleigh.
Right, literally next to the Santa
Yeah.
sleigh.
Just right next to it.
You know, mom and dad are like, "Oh, we know these people. Hey, aren't you the blah blah blah?" And it seems like mom knows a little too much about this place. And I'm just thinking, come on, werewolf, please kill these people. Please kill these people. They need to die for our sake.
You get your wish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, like,
Probably the first time that we got our wish in this movie.
Yeah.
yeah. So, if you're squeamish and you don't want to see nudity and you needed a reason not to see this movie other than the 10 other reasons we give you, this is where you see like a topless woman, which for the life of me, I don't know how they convinced that this poor actress that this would advance her career.
Right.
You know,
I also love just the amount of the tasteful male butt that we got. It was wonderful.
right.
Tasteful
That's what I
nudity.
wanted.
But
That's what I
when
wanted.
when the werewolf attacks, he was able to get his underwear on. They show that.
Yeah.
They wanted you to know that he could get dressed really fast. No one else could.
I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna have my knickers down around my ankles.
Yes.
It's
All
also
right.
really funny because they point out that the mother knows like where this place is, and the dad knows because like he's arrested people out here or whatever, and they get lost.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
they know where they're at, but they're like, where are we at? It's like you're at the place everyone knows about. How are you lost?
Right. And literally Santa's sleigh is like next to you.
Yeah. And that's next to like their house.
Yes. So, yep. We return to see that so the werewolf gets those swingers. Then the werewolf gets Dustin. We see his dead body on the ground, and they make a joke that he looks like lasagna. And Rupert says he shouldn't be hungry by that comment, but he is.
They also
Rupert.
Yeah.
They also cry when Dustin leaves.
Yeah,
And they're
but
like,
not
he
when
was
they
so
find
nice.
him.
He was so great. She's
But
like,
not-
why are you crying?
But not when they find his dead body.
Yeah.
Right. And how would we know he's so great? He bickers with the people.
Yeah. Yeah, that
And
was hilarious.
He makes such tasteful sex jokes. What could you possibly say about this person?
He would probably fit right in at KFC.
Yes.
Or a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Or a KFC Taco Bell.
Well, because he talks about right before he dies that he got kicked out of the band, and he's like, "Oh, I got an interview at at KFC next week."
Oh my gosh. I didn't
Oh,
know.
that's right.
UK
That's
had
right.
one.
Yeah, you're right.
Because she made a joke about it like earlier in the movie.
Oh,
yeah,
I
like
missed.
because if his name, cause they make fun of his name being Dustin.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, imagine if Justin Timberlake was named Dustin Timberlake, he'd be working at KFC. And then lo and behold, he works
I know.
at KFC.
It paid off.
What a callback. That's good comedy writing.
Right.
100%.
But yeah, so then they have to hide from the werewolf.
Yep. They put a lot of Dustin's guts all over them, and mom complains, "Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, this is so below me," and and they all just like gently put one of his ribs on their stomach, and then werewolf Grinch comes over, sniffs around, says, "Oh, there's only dead people here, and I'm really blind, so I can't see that they're alive," and leaves them alone.
They trick him easily. Barely an inconvenience.
Right. So they go back to the sleigh, and then the horrible realization is that the reindeer were eaten, maybe it was Werewolf Santa that did it.
Even though there's no like reindeer carcasses on the ground.
Yeah, there's just like a bunch of like
perfectly picked
props.
clean bones. Yeah.
It's not even bones. It's just, like 3 sets of antlers.
Yeah.
But we didn't see reindeer before all the werewolf attacks, right?
They were very careful not
Exactly.
to include that in the shot.
Yes. Yeah. So, the reindeer were eaten. Oh my gosh, this Santa's out of control.
Obviously.
Yeah. So their constable dad is with them, and he's like becomes an idiot. Like, I left my gun at home. he says, and like they're looking for a dead cop just to take their gun
Right.
because they all have silver bullets.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah,
Think about how
Also-
expensive that would be.
yeah. They have to go
Yeah,
to K
silver
Jewelers.
ain't cheap. Even junk silver, it's to arm an entire like a small town police force. I mean, we're talking several thousands of pounds, euros or
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever
right.
they're using. Yeah.
So
And then they're like, "Oh, I wish we had a freaking gun by now." Oh, poof, there's a cop carcass
yeah,
right over there. Like, turn to our left. Oh, there he is.
yeah.
How
I like
convenient.
that you can speak things into existence, like KFC jobs
Mm-hmm.
and dead cops. So
Manifesting it into existence.
Right.
So they make a comment that the Santa is still inside that werewolf because he packs up body parts into his bag as if he's Santa handing out gifts. So, and that's kind of like the dilemma is like you can't kill Santa, he's still in there.
Why not?
They bump into the werewolf again. Dad says, "Oh, I forgot my glasses. Lucy, I'm here to protect you, but I actually need you to kill the bad guy." Great Dad of the Year move.
Bringing back that Chekhov's gun, so to speak, of her being a crack shot
Yeah,
and supposedly good at handling a gun of of some kind.
so yeah, this werewolf should be deader than dead. So Luce does this stealthy walk to the werewolf, who is beyond dumb. She aims the gun at him and just hesitates for such a long time, saying, "I can't kill him. I can't kill Santa." Until the werewolf comes and she kicks the werewolf in the crotch and runs 10 feet away.
Oh, well, that's
Now-
just as good. I mean, a steel-toed boot, or a silver-toed boot
Yeah.
might do the trick.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, there should just be signs around the town that just say, "In case of werewolf, just kick it in the crotch."
I feel like that's something that would come up in like a town meeting, town bulletin type thing.
It has genitals, folks. Use them to your advantage. Yeah. So Lucy, the one who hates Christmas and could care less about it, can't kill Santa.
Yeah.
And that's her reason why we don't end this movie. Okay.
Because
Werewolf-
reasons.
Yeah. Werewolf runs away. They hear church bells. Everyone says, "Oh, half the town is at this church service." And
This is my rant about the movie. I'm going to go on about this. So,
Okay, you have the floor.
I was under the assumption that it was 3:00 in the morning, right?
yeah.
Here's the timeline. They got to Lucy's house and it was dark. They visited for a while, went outside and smoked. Somebody died. An ambulance and police came and took him away and gave a cause of death. They broke into the police station, then
Mhm.
went back home and went back into the woods and saw Santa turn into a werewolf. Then they went and got Lucy's mom and went and got her dad and Rupert. And then they went in the woods and found the swingers. And then they hid from Santa, and Dustin died. And then they just had this whole interaction where she didn't shoot him.
Yep.
And they're having a church Christmas candlelit service. Isn't that at 7 p.m.?
Well,
I that just
Well, I
baffled
mean-
me so bad.
if they're talking about midnight mass, I understand.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Right.
I vaguely remember from my my brief time in Catholicism that there is there's this some places will have a midnight mass, so
Right.
it didn't seem completely out of the ordinary for that to take
Right.
place on Christmas.
Yes.
I
But
do
we-
admit that the pacing was very, very quick.
Yeah,
I felt like-
so
I felt
much
like-
happened.
I felt like we were watching this in real time.
Right.
Boom, 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 boom. Here, there, everywhere. Santa gets mauled. Santa mauls the
Right.
strippers. Just fast and furious.
Hey.
This is the quickest Christmas disaster I've ever witnessed.
Right. And the big payoff is that the werewolf's going to go to this midnight mass, which has half the town, and they need to stop him. By doing that, they have this very sad moment, and Rupert explains that the church is actually a pedo ring, and he has this this conspiracy. So great
Right.
urgency, guys.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, did they have to?
Right.
Well, Rupert's so charming. It's just, I was shocked he said that. I mean, really.
Because she stands up and she's like, well, pedophiles or not, we have to go save them. And I was like, I mean, if they are, like, do it.
Sure. Let's
and
go
that's-
save the pedos.
That's the tagline of the movie. Pedos or not, we have to save them.
Oh, good grief.
So they suddenly get lost in the forest, cut to them back into Mom's car, bickering. Shocker.
Right.
Mom says she won't run the red light, even when Dad, the constable, is saying, you can run it.
It's just a matter of principle.
They run into that homeless guy on the suburb and,
Sure.
not attending midnight mass, that heathen.
Yeah.
Even.
And
But at least that means he's not a pedophile.
yes,
That's true.
right. This movie is careful about who's the good guy.
Yeah. He's a heathen, but he's not a morally bankrupt heathen.
Yes.
Right.
The werewolf comes, starts beating the junk, slashing the junk, biting the junk out of the homeless guy.
A lot of junk.
Yeah. Lucy and her parents are just complaining and shouting about it. Like, oh, I can't believe he's doing that. Like, absolutely no help at all. Possibly could have stuck the gun and shot through the windshield. It killed it several times.
Several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead they just, they do British action, which is like bickering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having a row in the car.
And then, the werewolf goes on top of the car, and Dad says, screw it, I'm going to drive, and like rush him off. And then apparently, did anyone see where he drove forward? Like,
No.
He drives forward and goes backwards.
Right. I didn't see the car move. I was waiting for it. Okay, do it. And he's like, oh, that worked, he said.
Yeah.
Really?
If you say so.
It's because he was confused about which side of the car he was on. He's like, the driver's side is supposed to be on the left.
Yes.
Because I'm American.
Right.
Obviously.
So they go into town, and town has one really nice haunted house and a church.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Why was there a haunted house?
Okay. I was able to suspend my disbelief through the awkward, family gathering and, the Santa taking a piss next to his plywood, sleigh with non-existent reindeer. I was able to go past all this, but why? Why is there a haunted house still up and running on December 24th?
And why was there a nice family out for a midnight stroll?
Right.
With their baby.
Exactly.
Why aren't they at midnight mass?
Exactly.
Because of the baby that protecting the baby.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Also,
Like-
as they go into the haunted house, Rupert, who they establish is a lot like Lucy, like he's a, horror nerd. As they're going in, he's like, I don't like haunted houses at the best of times. It's like, what? I thought you were like a monster freak. Like, you're scared of the cardboard monsters in here?
Yes. So I have
Come
to
on,
give it
sack
to
up, Rupert boy. This is the big leagues.
Yeah.
You're in it now.
The haunted house was a refreshing change from the
Yeah.
4 like vanilla scenes we had seen before. So I had to I did a thank you for thinking of us movie.
Yeah. This was the part that I thought was like a good concept because
Yeah.
of the setting and the fact that they're like hearing things like howling and screaming, and they're like, is that real or is that like part of the sound effects? Like they don't know. So it actually it's a well thought out scene. They just it's this movie, so
That was in the original script, and that's probably the only one that got realized. So Rupert, just like all the other noble and valiant men, gets scared and has to succumb to sexual blackmail about something about a donut that he uses. inappropriately. And we return to that joke. The I don't want to do it. Oh, I'll tell them about what you do with donuts. Oh, I'll come with you.
And then just proceeds to tell her anyway.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
never mind that it's filmed on the documentary and it's found footage, so we're watching the documentary, which means she broke the rule and told everyone. So
Yeah, I as I recall that scene, okay, if I can go past the whole ridiculous haunted house at Christmas time sort of setting, that's fine. I'll give it a pass. They run up to the door. They appear to be acting like they're trapped, but I saw a handle on the door. I'm like, bruh, it's a pull door. Like, you're pushing on it. It's a pull door.
mm-hmm.
It's well, I guess we're going to die here.
Yeah.
How about that donut?
Yeah. Yeah, also the gun is jammed. Like another way to end this movie. It could have happened.
100%.
Yeah. But then Dad's like, oh, you forgot to pull back the hammer, as he mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I am revoking Lucy's crack shot status.
yes.
Yeah. Also, I know it's very nitpicky, but like that gun was a Glock, and Glocks don't have that.
Yes.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the comics they do.
Right. This center fire Glock. Okay.
Yes. So the werewolf, when he attacks people, it's kind of off screen. So when
Yeah.
Lucy says, "I've been bitten," and her folks are like, "Don't look at the moon. Don't look at the moon. You'll transform." I'm like, "She was?" I couldn't tell. I had no idea she was bitten. I'm so glad you told us, Lucy.
If you say so.
Yeah. So then we get into this jokes, stay indoors, don't look at the moon. Dad says you've absorbed too much moonlight, which moonlight is pretty much just the sun's rays. So,
Yeah. I mean, that checks out from third grade science.
I didn't.
Which means anyone can turn into a werewolf out in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always bothered me.
Right. So
That's a good point. I don't know why I didn't catch that. That's so funny.
right. I just love that. The moon rays, we're gonna get her. So Lucy's sad that she can't end Santa's life because she loves Santa so much, as she told us in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Not the opposite of that. She says she's going to kill herself because she's going to turn into a werewolf. And then she says Lucy's the reason that they got divorced. And Dad says, no, it wasn't you. In fact, I want to ask your mom for marriage again. And he proposes to her. Says something about
Is that what that was?
I missed that.
like he
The
gets
jelly
down
roll.
on
No,
one
I don't.
knee.
I don't blame you because it feels like it got cut off, like in the last
Yeah.
few seconds. Like they were filming that scene, and the cameraman was like, "Oops, I seem to have run out of tape 30 seconds before the end. Hope nobody notices."
Right. Yeah. So they imply that they're getting back together. They're in the church, and there's like 2 dead bodies on the ground. Like such a massacre. So sad.
Yeah.
Grotesque.
So I think it's just like bits of ketchup and cloves just kind of thrown on the floor. And then we learn the whole backstory and the whole solution of the movie 5 minutes before it ends. So it
One
goes-
last grand exposition dump.
Right. Rupert says that there's a such thing as an alpha werewolf, and then Dad admits that he got drunk once and shot all the werewolves, but he was bitten by the alpha werewolf. And then they say whoever kills the alpha werewolf turns everybody back. So they don't have to kill Santa, but then it's revealed that Dad is the werewolf. And then Mom says, I'm completely confused. And I said, stop reading my mind.
She's said what's on everyone's mind watching this.
So this movie is not even about Santa anymore as being a credible bad guy. It's about Dad. And then Dad makes this comment about, the werewolf was only supposed to eat like a few people and be hungry, but he also ate your hash cookies. So that's why he's going after the whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
town. So
He got the munchies.
he got the munchies.
Womp womp.
So it's actually Lucy's fault that all these people are dead.
Right.
Yeah,
Ooh, guilt.
Addiction doesn't pay.
right. This is an anti-drug movie, much like Meth Gator.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids, or else Santa will turn into a werewolf and eat your whole town. Right?
That's got to be on a poster somewhere.
Yeah.
So Dad says, honey, you have to shoot me. I'm the alpha. I probably should have told you this earlier, but watching your friends get killed was kind of fun too. Dad admits he can turn into the alpha at will and turn into it, and he's been hiding the secret. Lucy says, no, I can't kill you. You're my dad. No, I can't kill Santa or my dad. Those are my 2 rules I'd never break.
And Chekhov is very disappointed in her right now.
Yeah. So Dad has to say, Lucy, you're a disappointment. We got a divorce because of you.
Yep.
Yep. You're the worst daughter ever. And
only by trauma dumping on
Yes.
Lucy does she finally have the intestinal fortitude to pull the trigger on the alpha werewolf, aka Dad.
Yeah. And Dad also threatens to eat Mom. And finally, she finally affords her 600th chance to end this movie. Now, here's the confusing part. So the rule is that whoever kills, if you're bitten and you kill the alpha werewolf, you become the alpha werewolf. So now Lucy's the alpha werewolf and Santa isn't transformed back into a normal person because she's still alive? Explain that to me, somebody.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they totally broke their own rule. And they just told it 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was just glad that the movie was over at that point.
Right.
You're trying to find logic where it doesn't
I was
reside.
just looking at the timestamps and just glad that the misery was about to come to an end. I wasn't looking into it too hard.
How many of you were so glad, you looked at the timeline at the bottom of the screen, and when I saw that there was 19 minutes, I'm like, okay, I can make this. I know I can make this.
It didn't feel super long to me, but I was definitely relieved when it concluded itself. Finally.
Yeah, but it didn't want you to enjoy what little time you had with it.
Right. It was also trying to hurry you out the door.
Right. And yet takes so long for the stupid girl to pull the trigger.
Again, Chekhov is very disappointed
Right.
that she didn't use his gun correctly.
Right.
True.
Yeah, so Santa comes out, he's confused, he's like, where are my reindeer? And they make a joke that they're in his stomach. Happy ending, everyone has PTSD, including Santa.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that movie.
Oh, yeah. That's what I
Santa-
thought, is he has to live with the trauma that he killed innocent people and ate his reindeer.
Yep. The worst part is he did drugs, Lucy's drugs.
Yes, that was the greatest
Mhm.
travesty of this film, was making Santa do drugs.
So Dad makes fun of Lucy's hair, saying she's just some redheaded freak rebel. And so we cut to next year's Christmas, where Lucy has dyed her hair black. She's now friends with her mom, and Rupert's kind of cool. Maybe they have a relationship now, but they all love Christmas, and it's just a happy time to be with family.
And he's not wearing his suit, his one identifiable character trait.
Yes.
Exactly. I guess this is supposed to symbolize growth? Question mark?
Dating?
But he's still wearing his Yankees ball cap.
I didn't think we had many Yankees fans across the pond.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
This was shot in Connecticut.
Also,
you'd be wrong.
Also, every single character had a different accent.
Right.
Yeah.
The one dude was Irish, and then I don't know. Then the mom had this really posh British accent, and then the main character and Dustin had I don't know, London accents. I don't know. And then just American Dad.
Yeah. I feel like if an actual British person watched this movie and took in these accents, they'd be like, what the bloody hell's going on here?
Exactly.
Why do the Americans hate us? Why
What's
did they
going
give-
on?
And why was that a better
These
British
Americans
accent
don't know
than
jack
what we
about us.
got? That was a better British accent than what we got in the movie from the dad.
Yeah.
Right. So
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
the ending is a callback to Santa coming to Lucy's house, and suddenly a UFO off screen sucks up Santa as Rupert narrates what's happening to Santa.
With more moonlight coming in through the window.
Yes.
Moonlight,
awful
that's
moonlight.
definitely not a stage spotlight.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it ends the film with like more comic book scenes. And like you said, Bill Briggs kind of just shows up, but not Woody Harrelson. And he's like,
Yeah.
look at this movie I made or something. I don't know.
Wow.
All right.
The end. Or is it?
Yes. So we are going to skip, for the sake of time, our sequel pitch. Though clearly the sequel to
This
this
does
movie,
not need a sequel, bro.
No.
Yes.
It needs
No.
to die.
I just want to see the movie Meth Santa. which
Yeah.
goes-
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I would be here for that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I can clearly say that the best person on this whole crew was the person who designed the horror house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine was that Santa sleigh with the LED light strips.
That was a labor of love.
It looked like it was made out of cardboard.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, even mall Santas were turning their nose up to it.
Right.
and my favorite worker on the movie would be the hero who let the crew film all of the wood scenes in their backyard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
That's what it all felt like. Like all of the outdoor scenes were basically filmed in the same guy's backyard.
Exactly. All right. And Ivy, who do you think deserves the award for best person on this movie?
Definitely Lucy's mom. She actually has like good delivery and good lines. And if you like plucked her out of this movie and put her in like another like legit, like British comedy, she would go over really well. I don't know why she was so talented.
Yep. She
I
probably
concur.
got 4 figures.
Hopefully.
They had to take the sleigh budget and give it to her to pay
Yeah.
her. Yeah. So, finally, is this to be disposed, to be enjoyed, or to be the greatest?
Dispose.
All right. That's saying something coming to a werewolf fanatic like you.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. Is there a tier lower than that, like cat butthole?
To be burned.
Yeah, to be burned.
There we go.
I don't know. Maybe Thanos dusted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
we go.
like I said with like I didn't believe that I could find something that deserved a worse fate than Cash Storm, but here we are.
Once again, is a movie that could have been so much fun, having like all these Santa things with all this gore and violence, and it delivered on none of that.
Yeah.
Nope, not a one.
It's like you were handed a room full of puppies, and what do you do in that room? You do your taxes. Like, it's
Right.
just-
Mm.
It's a waste.
you went out of your way to make this boring.
What,
Right.
nobody else thinks of filling out a 1099 when they get a box of adorable Labradoodle puppies.
Yep. So you say disposed, Vincent. You say disposed, Adam. You say burn to the ground.
Yeah, it's not enough to delete this movie. I need that time back.
Like
You
we
would
all
go
need
with-
like the Men in Black neuralizers.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Mind wiped.
The thing about it is, even if it was good, like the monotonous and rampant lewdness that was just so forced into the script is just like, I can't show this to my mom, to my dad, my best friend. like why do you hate us, Mike? And so
Just
even
like they
then,
thought they were being so funny and they just weren't.
yeah,
I wouldn't
okay,
show
you're
this
not-
to people.
Yeah,
I
You're
wouldn't
not-
show this to animals.
You're not train spotting. We get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it, folks. We
Oh
did
my
it. We got
gosh.
through. We can add this to our notch in our belt. So,
Hooray.
yay. Thank you for listening to our humble little movie review podcast. If you like what you hear, please give us a rating on Apple, Google, or Spotify. We need more than just Ivy's dad and his work friends listening to us. So, Join us next time as Vincent will pick the next Tubi movie. You heard that right, Vincent, unless you've quit.
I'm getting you all back for this.
All right.
There will be retribution.
So
Can't wait.
From all of us, have a Merry Christmas and remember to limit your hash cookies when Santa slashes down your chimney.
Amen.
I've been Mike.
I'm Adam.
I was Ivy.
Woo!
Goodbye.
Happy holidays.
Behind the day.
Mary Chrysler.
Tubi got that flick game, straight up out of left field. Cheesy B movies, all that drama unsealed. Chilling on my couch, popcorn in the bowl. Flicks so whack, they gon' steal your soul. Low budget thrills, but the laughs top shelf. Actors giving Oscar dreams, bless their little elf. Sci-fi monsters, rubber suits so bad. Can't help but laugh, never getting mad. Tubi's the spot for them B-movie dreams. Corny plots and them offbeat schemes. Wrestle with the worst, but enjoy the ride. Cinematic gold, never trying to hide. Alien invasion, spaceships, all janky. Hero wears cardboard, yeah, yo, that's swanky. Vampires in the daylight, no one even cares. B-movie magic in the 2B layers. Dialogue